I'm going to share with you how I've helped hundreds make a career pivot in the tech as a software tester without experience, a degree, or certification. So, all different walks of life, even stay at home moms, welders, plumbers, all of the different type of sectors or backgrounds that people are coming from. All right, averaging anywhere from 70K to 100K or more using my 6-step method. I am Jennifer Geddes. I am an experienced senior QA engineer, also the founder of an EdTech program and a career pivot mentor. Now, you are here because I believe that we are all software testers. All right, let me know in the chat. Go ahead, let me know in the chat. Say yes if you believe you're a software tester. Do you even know? Let me make sure my chat is up. Do you even know if you're a software tester? Let me know. You think you're a software tester? So I believe that we're software testers and you just don't know it yet. Felicia says, I can be. That's right. Now, drop in the comments. Let me know where you're from. I saw somebody from Memphis. You guys let me know in the chat, where exactly are you from? Shauna says, yes, I haven't received my offer yet, but I'm a software tester. All right. Boston, Atlanta, New York, Atlanta, Missouri, Cleveland, Connecticut, Greenville, Texas, DC, Charlotte, North Carolina, Palm Beach, Nashville. Woo, these coming in fast. Indiana, Chicago, hey. And I say that like hey, like a friendly hey, not like a hey, but y'all get my real personality now. I'm being silly, but it's Illinois, Montclair, Michigan, North Carolina, Texas. Hello from all around the US and the world, because I thought I saw someone that actually did say like Dubai or something. So welcome from wherever you are at. Texas, Orlando, I welcome you. Now I want to know a little bit about you. What's your current or previous job title? All right. Are you coming from technical support, help desk, customer service, project management, accounting, security? Let me know, what is your background. Chemical mixer. That's interesting. I can't even get it out. Education, mail carrier, USPS. Real true facts. Daryl, my brother's first QA role actually, well, second was for USPS. Trucking, customer service, mortgage, education. Yeah, if it's not here, just list it. All right. Service manager, project manager, healthcare, stay-at-home mom, receptionist. You guys are sitting on some transferable skills here. All right. Now, why are you here? Tell me, why are you here? Career change, transition, maybe you want a technical upskill, role change. Maybe you're already in tech, but you're in sales. You want to pivot. You want a pay raise. You want to make more money. You're looking for a way to get into tech. You're looking for the ability to work remote, have more hybrid opportunities. All right. Do you even know what software testing is? Do you feel capped in your income? Maybe you just don't like what you're doing. All right. Career change. All right. Career change, more money, pivot into tech, more time with family. All right. All that you mentioned. All right. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, in this 60-minute masterclass, and I'm going to try to keep it at 60 minutes because I can talk and I like to go and give you more. But I want to respect your time this Sunday, okay? And I want to make sure that you have no fluff and that at the very least you take something away, all right? Because you're going to have homework, all right? Put a HM in the chat if you want homework, because I'm going to give you homework. You're going to walk away with something, all right? Put HM. You want some homework? That's right. I'm going to give you some homework, all right? Because I want you to know that you are worth more. You are worth so much more. You can demand more. You can make a pivot. You can be authentic in your pivot. You are sitting on skills and experience that you just need to know how to leverage, add some more on top, and make a pivot. So yes, put HM if you're ready for this homework, because you're going to have homework after this, I promise. All right. So you're going to learn what exactly a software tester is, why I believe that you're already a software tester and you just don't know it yet, my 6-step pivot method, how I've helped over 120 plus people secure their first role, some multiple, and how this role can lead to other 6-figure career opportunities and make you essentially career recession proof. All right. If you do it my way. All right. Now, if you stay to the end, about 30 minutes after the webinar, you'll actually get the webinar workbook for what we have here. My favorite QA upskill resources from free to under $100 using Udemy and YouTube. So if you never see me again, I'm going to give you what I say that you can take after. I'm going to show you three or four job descriptions. And I'm going to say, go take these, go learn this for free to $100 and position as a software tester. Is that cool? So you don't got to buy nothing from me. I am going to share what Road to QA is at the end, but I want you to understand that I'm going to give you essentially what you need to go and make this pivot happen. I want to show you how real this is. All right. Now, I'm going to be very transparent here. About 5 years ago, I had thyroid surgery. So sometimes when I talk really fast, I get excited. So that's why you see me like trying to catch my breath. So please bear with me. Okay. Is that okay? I appreciate your patience. I'm very excited to be here. So I have to slow it down some. Okay. All right. This is Shaniqua. Shaniqua actually came from construction to landing her first QA role. And this is her 3-month update, literally this week, letting us know that she's now going to be shadowing another person at her job and she's upskilling. The reason why I wanted to share that is because I want you to realize that this is also very recent with students landing jobs. And also, I want to show you the past. This is Alana, who she took my course over a year ago, and she's now going to her third role, making over 100K. So I just want you to show you how real this is and how possible this is. Now let's talk about who this training is for. This training is for someone who has no degree, certifications, or previous experience. All right. Someone who's ready to career pivot into tech from a different career, someone who wants to upskill within tech from another role, someone who's ready to position for a higher paid role and to actually create a real career path for growth. Maybe you didn't have one. I didn't personally because I didn't finish school and get my degree, right? And so I kind of stopped. So being able to recreate a career path and knowing that I didn't have to go get in tons and tons of debt to do it was life changing. This is for someone who wants more remote possibilities or hybrid opportunities. Someone who's just tired of learning online alone and you need more of a process, more of a roadmap. And maybe you just want something different. But who this is not for is someone who is afraid of tech. So if you are afraid of tech with love, let me tell you something. That little iPhone that you sit on, you probably have a husband, a spouse, kids, or somebody, right? And I guarantee that when you want to break in that phone, you're going to find a way to break in that phone. All right. Let me know in the chat. Say yes if you can get in the phone when you need to. Let me know. Because you probably are a software tester. If you need to get in the phone, right? If your kid's doing something, right? Juanita says, yes, ma'am. So it's just the thing. I hate when people say, I'm not techie. Listen, if you are playing with them gadgets in your new car, if you are on that cell phone, if you breaking into Facebook, FBI, doing all that, you have the ability to be technical. You just need to believe that you can do it and you have to push through to the understanding of adding new skills. All right. But I will say, if you truly believe that you are behind, we can't use a keyboard and you're afraid of tech, this is not for you. You are free to listen, but this is not for you. Okay. Is that okay for me to be honest with you? Because I don't want to waste anyone's time. All right. Are you guys ready? Get your paper and pen out. This is I'm going to say it's going to go fast because I'm already 12 minutes in and I just don't like fluff. So I want to make sure we get to it. So get your pen and paper out because this is your way into tech. Without experience, without going to a high cost boot camp, without degrees if you don't have them, without certs if you don't have them, and without getting into more debt. Why? Because I believe that you can leverage your past experiences to position. This is a shortened learning time to position into tech. It's also the simplest route of technical learning to pivot, and it's been already proven by me and my students. How? You're going to learn my 6-step skills method in just a moment. But before we do that, let's talk about what is a software or web application. A software web application is any internal or external web application or program that will be used by its employees or its customers to perform an activity. All right. Now, you see this example of Walmart. How many of you guys have shopped at Walmart, Target? Let me know. All right. Walmart has POS machines, mobile apps, and online websites. All of them with the same goal is to, right, all of us, all of them with the same goal is to get the person to do what? Buy, to check out. But you see this young lady here with this little orange vest on? See, essentially, she's becoming the SME or the subject matter expert of these machines that unfortunately took a lot of people's jobs, right? All right. And I don't know if you worked at Walmart or Juanita says just left Walmart. But those machines took a lot of people's jobs, all right? But at the same time, they still had to be tested and someone still has to maintain them. And someone still has to be the SME, the subject matter expert to oversee them. All right. So even though these machines might have taken many jobs, someone behind the scenes still has to implement, test, and create the technology behind these machines. And this young lady right here is a subject matter expert because she knows exactly how those machines should work on a day-to-day basis. All right. Let me give you an example of something. Now, this one is old, but I'm going to show you one that's newer. In 2021, the average Walmart cashier was making about $16.40. But at that time, and they employed over 300,000 African Americans, right? However, at the same time, they actually had software testing jobs where people was making about 100 up to 103. The difference in the paycheck was skill set. Type in skill set in a chat. Type in skill set. Same company, same company, but someone's testing these applications behind the scenes. Now, whether it's internally or externally, someone still is getting paid to do this. But the difference in their paycheck working for Walmart was skill set. Was that an aha for anybody? Type in aha. Was that an aha? The difference in your paycheck is skill set. Let me give you another example. Let's take Starbucks. Now, this is about 2 weeks old. Software quality assurance analyst lead. Now, this is a lead position, but still, they're saying 105 to 185. So instead of serving the coffee for under $20 an hour, someone's testing the software where they punch in to serve the coffee, making 105 at the minimum. Was that an aha moment? The difference in your paycheck just might be skill set. You might be sitting right at a company right now that has technology that needs to be tested, and you're already the SME there. But let me not get ahead. So the truth is, we're already software testers. You just don't know it yet. Chances are you might have done the following at work or at school or at home. You might have analyzed business system requirements or application requirements. When you start that job and you got to read and understand the software to do your job, or someone has to train you. Maybe you reported or found a defect at your job on the software or the program application. Maybe you used something online. Maybe you helped test the company's software or programs after they made an update to make sure it's working. Has any of you actually tested software before at work? Let me know. All right, type test if you've ever tested any work software. Type test because I love to see that. Okay, I'm gonna come back to you guys. Hold that thought. Maybe you created or trained one of your coworkers on how to use the company program or software application. Someone comes into work and they start a new job, and you're the SME already, the subject matter expert. So now you're training them. Maybe you help implemented a new software technology. So maybe there's something new that was implemented, you help implement that or guide that process. Maybe you provided feedback for improvement on user enhancements. All right. Anybody ever use a software online and you actually, put feedback in how the program can be enhanced or to request a new feature? Maybe you've collaborated with company stakeholders and teams. All right. So maybe you did cross collaboration amongst different teams. See, you're already a software tester. You just don't know it yet. And here's why: because you're already a SME. Type in SME in the chat. SME. Type in SME. A subject matter expert. What is a subject matter expert? A subject matter expert provides the knowledge and the expertise on a specific subject and business area or technical area for a program or project. All right. All of you guys have been SMEs. You're a SME at something. You have all this work experience. We have to pull that out of you. Now, how have you been specifically a SME around infusing quality, processes, technologies, or a specific skill? So maybe you have been a SME at utilizing a specific skill, even leadership, processes, workflow processes, SOP processes, team processes, organization processes. How have you helped support or been a SME, a subject matter expert on the use of technology? Let's go back to that Walmart scenario. Remember that young lady I said? Even though those machines took lots of jobs, she's still the SME because she has to know through and through how that software is supposed to work. So if something happens, she can troubleshoot it, right? Because what happens if people come to check out and those machines don't work? How does that affect the company? If you go to Walmart right now and all the machines are down, is no one there to check you out, and she's standing there, loss of revenue, absolutely. So someone has to still be the SME. Someone has to still know how to troubleshoot it. How have you been the SME around technology, quality, processes, and skills in your experience? Has anybody ever done user acceptance testing? UAT testing. Has anybody done UAT testing? I just wanted Alexandra says yes. Kashara says yes. Brianna says yes. You're already a software tester. You just don't know it yet. Now, UAT testing is a stage in the software development process where the intended users, where we actually test the software just like a real world scenario on how someone uses it. These are jobs if you don't know it. So you probably didn't even get paid from it. You probably just helped test the update, but essentially you did UAT testing. Go look up UAT testing. Those are jobs. You're already a software tester. You take that experience and you apply it. The difference is that you just don't have the language. You don't know how to speak this, you don't know how to, walk the walk and talk the talk yet. So any of you that's done this, you already have done UAT testing. You're already a software tester. Here are your future career titles. It could be QA analyst, QA tester, manual QA. But here are some I pulled just this week. This is from Hyatt, Georgia Southern or Southern Company, Netflix, IBM, Gusto. Literally, I just pulled these like yesterday, literally. So I want you guys to realize that now the difference in each of these roles could be how much skill set and testing they want. But the point is, there are opportunities here to be a software tester, but the job titles are going to be different. All right. So screenshot this because this is what I want you to be able to start looking for. See, companies could actually name you, have your career title in any one of these. All right. Specifically, I want you to focus on manual QA tester, software tester, and QA analyst, the first three, and definitely UAT tester, because that's a great way to pivot in. So go ahead and screenshot this because I want you guys to do some research. All right. So you already got homework, and I want you to start looking at these jobs. Now, my goal for you today is to show you how to combine your previous experience and how to add new skills to position in the market for a rewarding career path so that you can fuel a better life and finance your goals and dreams. Even if you have no experience, a degree, or certifications, I do not have a degree, and still I don't have any software certifications. Nothing wrong with them. You can get them. I don't believe that you need that for your first one. All right. But you definitely, the more you add, the more competitive you are. All right. Across any industry. So yes, this is for newbies in tech, career changers, and underpaid 9-to-5ers, or just fed up people that want to make a pivot. Now, the processes and the methods that you're going to learn are the exact processes that I use to personally go from 40K to landing offers at least 130 now in less than 60 days personally for myself. I helped 5 of my family members and friends, from my husband, my brother, my cousin, my sister-in-law, my best friend, all secure their first, second, and third roles now since 3 years. Now we're 3 years in, and I've helped hundreds of students do the same. Here you can see some of our stories, which you'll be able to see this later. And also from my free information. I have students who've taken my free information alone and was able to land roles. Now, if you stick with me to the end of the training, there will be an offer for you to be able to get the same results. But even if you stick to the end, I'm going to send you the webinar workbook after 30 minutes to an hour and the presentation slides and a list of the resources from free to $100 on how you can learn what I'm teaching you and go learn it from free to under $100 and position yourself in the market. Is that fair? Let me know. Is that fair? Say fair in the chat if that's fair. Is that fair? All right. Now, this is what I feel makes you recession proof. Your skills, your in demand, your skills that are in demand and the knowledge you have in your experience. This is what makes you recession proof. The truth of the matter is, if a company lays off, go somewhere else. Now, I know that that's easier said than done. But the truth of the matter is when you have in-demand skills and knowledge and expertise, you can go somewhere else. So let's start thinking positive and think about, am I positioned to be competitive and valuable in today's market so I can go somewhere else? And if not, we need to add new skills so you can be able to go somewhere else competitively. This is a QA opportunity. Listen, software testing is growing because of we have new technologies and applications and programs and AI and automation. And just because we have AI and automation doesn't mean that we're just taking humans out of the equation. See, we still need humans, us, to still leverage AI and automation to improve testing, all right? To make testing more efficient, to do things more quicker, all right? So we still need you. We still need humans, but the difference is going to be the skills that's needed for testing. So it's not the software testers and manual QA, because if you guys heard the word manual QA is just gone away, is that your skill set has to be more competitive to do the job. All right. So I believe that this is your road to a six-figure career. Now, it doesn't end with just this, but I want to give you a full view. So I believe that if you pivot in here as a software tester, because you're going to learn that I believe you're already a software tester, you just don't know it yet. You can then go more technical or non-technical management. You can go be a senior QA lead or manager, or automation engineer, SDET, a data analyst or business intelligence analyst, a database admin, a software engineer, AI, machine learning, cloud architect, robotic process automation, cybersecurity. All right. You can go and do non-technical management, product owner, product manager, scrum master, business analyst, IT manager, product manager. Do you guys see how you guys can go from one and go to other six-figure career titles? Do you see that? Type, give me an emoji. Yeah, give me a heart. Give me a heart if you love this vision. Can you see the vision now? We don't stop. You take who you've been and now you add more skills on top. Deborah, I see your question and I will definitely answer that if you stay to the end, because I want to show you someone literally who just posted in our community last night. So I want you guys to realize that I believe that if you pivot in this way, now you have the road to other possibilities. You choose. If you don't want to go into more automation, you can go the more technical way. And I'll share students that's done that already. You could screenshot this because I want you to visually see that again. From that, even if you get your first role at 70, 80, 100 or 70, 80K, now you have other possibilities to go more technical or management and to go up. It's about adding those skills on top. But the reason why I believe that as a software engineer, this is a great pivot point, is because you are now becoming a part of the software development life cycle, the process to bring a program, a product, or application to life. And you're going to meet most of these people in your role, or connect with them. So now that you're a part of the process and understanding of what it means to bring a product to life, now you just need the skill set to go in whichever career lane that you want to go. Let me give you an example. This is Sade. She landed her first QA role. Now she's a business analyst. We have another student, can't remember her name right now, but she is a product scrum master. So even though they took my road to QA program, these are the titles, other job titles they were able to pursue. We have Ashley, who is a technical business analyst now. We have another student who's a business analyst, and we have Adrian, who is an IT manager, and she came from accounting. So just because, even though they learned my process, because they understood the technical part, these are the actual career titles they then also was able to pursue without actually going to a whole nother BA, product owner, scrum class. Now, it's not saying that they didn't upskill a little bit on their own, but essentially they still was able to go this way. All right, so type 6 in the chat if you see that six-figure. Do you see the six-figure roadmap? Type 6. Let me know, you guys here. Did that wake you up? Did that wake anybody up? See, we got to stop looking. We got to stop looking at our skills in the one thing we do. We got to stop looking at that as minimal. All right. So all you need is one. All you need is that first yes. That first yes allowed my students to do this. All right. To now be BAs, Scrum Masters, IT managers, technical product owners. And I'm gonna tell you, Ashley, she's like a technical product owner, a QA, and a BA all in one. So the difference in your skill set just may be or the difference in your paycheck just may be your skill set. All right. Now, if you're making good money, it just may be the fact that you don't understand how to leverage who you've been. All right. So when you have an in-demand skill set, you're valuable in the market, you could take your skills and just go somewhere else. What I enjoy about being a QA engineer is that there are on-site opportunities, hybrid, remote, and there are growth opportunities just into other roles, just like I showed you. We are experiencing a time when not having a degree or certifications or many years of experience is no longer disqualifies you, right? So I know this because I have no degree of certs and I've helped hundreds of people do it from different backgrounds. Now on the internet, it's made it simple to go on YouTube, learn on Udemy, Coursera, Pluralsight, attend boot camps and internships in live conferences. But this is the sweet spot. Write this down. This is my pivot sweet spot. All right, my PSS. If you combine these three forces, this is what's going to allow you to make a successful career pivot. First, we're going to identify your transferable skills, AKA your superpowers. Then we're going to acquire new skills, add new skills on top. Then we're going to position with a sexy career story. Can y'all put sexy? Now, I want to stay professional, but can you put sexy in the chat? If you with me, put sexy. Ain't nothing wrong with a sexy, solid career story. All right. We want to make it smooth. Now, some of you are probably thinking, who the heck am I? Why should I listen to you? I'm not going to stay on this long because y'all got more writing to do. I told you got homework. All right. So I'm Jennifer. I'm a senior QA. I'm an experienced senior QA engineer. I've spent over 10 years in IT space, but mostly under the marketing umbrella and technical support. Now, within the last 3 years, almost 4 of the QA sectors. I've secured and worked 8 different QA roles from multiple tech sectors in under 3 years. I mentored and trained newbies and career changers on how to do this too. And I'm the founder of Road to QA, who's helped over 120 plus people secure their first roles. These are my real offers. If you go in my Instagram, you will literally see from the dates that I posted them from 2021. These are my exact real offers. It's just one missing. But these are all my real offers. My names are on there. You can see that this is me. So hashtag we do this. Type in the chat, we do this. Y'all ready? We do this. You might have seen me on Tech is the New Black, Tech Jobber, Quick Commuting, Black is Tech Conference. You might have seen my student who actually got interviewed. I'm not really one that like to be on the internet like that all around, but I try as much as possible so I can expose more people to this process. But the truth is that this was an accident. Want to hear my story? I'm going to tell you anyway. And at the age of 17, I became a mom of my son, my first child. I only got 2. I didn't finish college. I have 70K of student debt, but we working on the process, but hopefully I don't owe that no more. I got into medical billing and coding and did a certification, never got a job in it. Had low paid office jobs under 40K, bad credit, high interest rate loans, paycheck to paycheck, overdrawn bank accounts until the next paycheck, title loans, pawn shops, and $5 Friday pizza days was fun for my family. Anybody had to do $5 pizzas on Fridays because bank account was short? Yeah, my kids thought that was fun for me. It was fun for them, but it wasn't fun for me. We had to do it for a few years. All right. And I was trying online marketing, but it wasn't making me no money. So I was looking for something. I was in search of something in January 2021. I'm not where I am today. I was sick with COVID and I didn't know if I was going to make it. In fact, I went to the hospital like 3 times. They didn't know if I was going to survive. And up to this point, I've had it like 3 times. So me and my husband got sick with COVID. Our house shut down. We was paycheck to paycheck. I had to put a title loan on my car just for us to pay rent. I spent less than 60 days studying how to be a software tester because I learned about it about 8 months prior, but I didn't pull the trigger. I was able to leverage my past experience, add new skills on top to position my resume into the market without any previous experience. After 1 day of being in the market in 2021, I landed my first interview. Can you guys see this? It says Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. I literally put my literally put my resume in the market, and within 24 hours, I had an interview. Within 7 days, I landed the job. Do you guys see that? From March 31st to April 8th. This is real. Right? Can't make that one up. So within a week, I went from 40K to 80K, landed my first role as a remote software tester. And the first thing I did, I want to guess, I went and got my title back. Yes, I did. And don't look at me and be like, did she got 22s? I had 22s. And I don't have that car no more because I took the rims off and I gave it to my son. But yes, I had 22s on a 2014 Nissan Altima. And I love that car. That was my baby. It was the first thing I paid off. And so I went and got my title back. Now, light bulb moment. And Lord, ain't no shame in that. Hey, I love that car. First car ever had my name on it. Right, not the Nissan. The light bulb went off. I realized that, wow, I was worth more and I was able to earn more because I had other skills without going back to school, getting a degree, or having certifications. So guess what I kept doing, y'all? I stayed in the market. This is how I accidentally job stacked. Now, disclaimer, I'm not going to tell you guys to, but this is how it happened. Because I want you guys to be I want you guys to be ethical and morally right to jobs and companies, okay? But I'm going to tell you my story because I need you to know how we got here. All right. So can I be real with you? Type in the chat real if I can be real. Can I be real with you? Because I got to be real with you. I don't want you to do anything to jeopardize your jobs in companies. I want you to do right by them, but I want to be honest with how I got here. So I stayed in the market and I landed multiple roles. I job stacked up to 2 and 3 jobs at a time. I no longer have to do that now because my offers are easily at least 120 plus. Now, here's what happened. April 2021, I landed my first QA role, as you saw. June, I landed my second. By October, I had my third. This is all in 2021. By November and February 2022, I had 6-figure offers. And by January 2023, I accidentally also launched the ebook and masterclasses to show other people. And I had 42 people land jobs within a year. So that same year, if you realize, April, May, and June, I landed 3 roles, right? But these dates, November 2021, August, and September, these are offers from my brother, my husband, and my cousin. My brother, John, my husband, Vince, and I took all of them, Felicia. Working all of them. And my cousin, Cliff. So I landed multiple roles, but then I started helping my husband, my cousin, my brother. They landed roles too. And these are all my family members. My husband is Vince. My brother is John. He's still a QA. My cousin is Cliff. He's still a QA. My husband's still a QA today. So me and my husband decided to move to Cabo. So I don't know if you follow me much, but I just got back from living in Cabo for almost 3 years. And we came back for a few reasons. My daughter wants to graduate out of school. We got some family things going on, other investments. So we're taking like a year to reset because now I want to finally buy because I've been renting. But we lived and we packed up everything. So June 2022, almost a year after getting into QA, we packed everything and we moved to Cabo. This is me living in Cabo with me, my husband, and my daughter. And then also our dog, Blue. Can you guys say hi to Blue? Blue is now here in America. She's a Cabo dog. We had to literally put her on a private plane because we couldn't. They say you can take things in the Mexico, but you can't get it out. Okay. So this is Blue, and Blue now lives in the U.S. and she I don't know how, but she almost died from like this weather. I don't know, it's weird, but I think it's the chemtrails. But that's a whole nother subject because I don't want to get technical on here. But needless to say, this was my view almost for 3 years. I miss it. I love it. Cabo taught me such a lot. And I can't wait to go back as we're getting ready to buy our property now. Now, making a career change shifted my life, but it accidentally started helping other people's lives. These are my first students. As you can see, I'm going to pause this. This is Jessica, who's my best friend. She's still a QA today. And this is Jamisha. This is my sister-in-law. She has moved on to other things with her career, but she did land 2 QA roles. This is Monique, one of my first students, who also landed 5 roles, probably more today. Cassandra and Bert also. So in 2022, this is what started the journey of the student success. And now this is where we are with hundreds of actual stories of success stories. Are you ready to go? Are you ready for us to go? Let's go. Get your pen ready. So you've been wondering, how do I get into tech? Do I need a degree? Do I need previous experience? Do I need a boot camp? Do I need certifications? Do I need to know how to code? Do I need to be techie? I'm going to say you need skills. SKILLS. Screenshot this. I got to catch up on time here. So, first you need to start with the understanding of your transferable skills, AKA your superpowers. Then you need to acquire the understanding of QA terms, tools, and skills. Then you need to improve. So take your time. Okay, I'm gonna take my time, but I want to give you back your Sunday now. And then I want you to improve your resume for the market with an attractive, sexy career story. Then I want you to level up for the interview with your unique career intro. I want you to load your profile into the market strategically, and I want you to score interviews and skill up until you get that first yes, because you only need one. So let's start. First, what is a QA analyst or engineer? It's a software tester, also known as a QA analyst, QA engineer. They are responsible for the final step in the development of a software, program, application, or website before it's released to the public. QA analysts look for flaws and weaknesses in a program. They average anywhere from 70 to 129K. QA analysts help verify that the software is working properly and providing a bug and defect-free software, making sure that it's built to the client's needs and the user's expectations, all right, or before and after it's released to the public or the user. We do this by using a variety of testing skills and tools. All right. So what is software development? Software development is the process used to conceive, specify, and design, program, document, and test, and make sure that the applications of the softwares are, built to how the stakeholders want them to be built, right? All of these must be tested. Think about this. Look around your house. Games, mobile apps, web applications, robotics, artificial intelligence, databases, operating system, virtual reality, hardware devices, mobile devices, all of this stuff gotta be tested, right? See, we're so busy thinking about AI and automation taking jobs, but someone still has to test this stuff. It's just the skill level of testing is needed. Now, what is software testing again? Software testing is the process of evaluating and verifying that the software is doing what it's supposed to do. What is a software tester? A software tester plays a critical role in making sure that we're delivering a high quality software. And what is quality assurance? This is important. Quality assurance is to ensure the quality of an application or software by testing its functionality, its performance, and its security throughout what's called the software development lifecycle, or the SDLC. All right. So the SDLC is the process to ensure that it is a bug and defect-free software to make sure that it's a great experience for the users and is built to how the clients want it built. Now, you can be on 3 different types of projects. You could be on a project that's a new project development, a legacy migration, maybe an enhancement, right? Let's take Amazon. Amazon is a company that's up and running, but maybe they have a QA team because they're constantly either developing new projects with in alignment with Amazon, or maybe they're always enhancing and updating the current program. All right. Has anybody ever been a part of their company when they're actually migrating from an old software to a new software? Put legacy. Have you ever been a part of put a legacy? Yes, yes. Right. So you're already a software tester. That's experience. How did you support the testing or the validation of ensuring that that software is doing what it's supposed to do, or making sure that what was there in the old system and is now moved to the new system? All right. You're already a software tester. You just don't know it yet. So now it's time to audit your experience, because this is one of your pieces of your homework, probably your main one. First, we need to audit your experience. We want to audit what technology, tools, software, and applications experience do you have in your past companies? Have you used Salesforce? Have you used Oracle? Have you used Jira? Have you used hardware devices, POS machines, Linux, ServiceNow? Even if it's not here, what technology, tools, or software applications have you used? POS machines. And I need you to do this not for your current job, but for every company that you work for. POS machines, Jira, like those are transferable skills. All right. Now decide what you have on your own, but I need you to audit every single job that's on your resume or from your experience. Quit discounting yourself. A lot of times we don't know how to tell the story because we're discounting who we've been. What domains have you been a part of? Have you been part of healthcare, financial, government, SaaS? I'm going to tell you a story, true story. Me and my husband was in the market at the same time. He kept getting all these high $55 an hour offers or jobs. And I was like, how are you getting these? We ended up realizing his experience spoke to healthcare. My experience spoke to SaaS, more SaaS and financial. So he kept getting all these healthcare jobs. You might, if you've been a SME in healthcare, you know how that language and that compliance and the of healthcare works. So you're more attractive to a company who has a healthcare product or service. And then on top of that, if you have the QA skill, you're a SME in that domain, right? Yeah, even if it was a part-time job, what have you used? We got to pull out every bit of our experience. What skills do you have? Have you tested a program at work? Have you done SQL, API? Do you have leadership skills, writing skills, IT, support, help desk? What are your skills? So I need you to go look at this is your homework. Go look at every single company and job you've ever worked, and even in school. What technologies, tools, software, and applications have you been on? How did you use them? What was the intent of them? What domain, sector, industry experience do you have, and what skills do you have? We need to audit who we've been. Let me give you an example. This student came to Road to QA, and she went from making $47,000 to $66,000. But let me tell you what was the real winner with this. The real winner was that she actually was a case manager, had to physically drive every day and go out to families' homes to check and verify their homes Monday through Friday. Literally, she found an application support specialist role in her company and went from case manager to application support because she pulled out her transferable skills and identified that she was a SME already with that company. She says, I got the job. Since it's within the company I work at, it counts as a promotion. And it will only be in the office twice a week and working from home 3 days during the week. This is only the beginning and the first step in achieving my dream of being a full QA, remote QA. I'm looking forward to the growth and learning that awaits me. I want to thank you, Jennifer, and everyone at Road to QA. I'm so excited for my future. Would you take 20K more to go from driving every day, having to deal with the stress and the mental stress of going to people's homes, to working behind the scenes and only having to, and being able to work 3 days out of the week at home and not have to deal with cases no more? So she no longer had to deal with the actual cases of the people. She's now dealing with the technology. So we helped her identify she's already a software tester. She's already valuable there. Now let's talk the technical language and let's go get the job. So it doesn't have to be that you're just going directly after the QA role. You might be sitting at a company right now that has application testing roles or roles within those career titles. And because you're already there, you're a SME, you're a subject matter expert. Go get your money. All right, this is Adrienne. She came from being an administrator and account manager to positioning in the market and now landed an IT project management role. So again, even though it wasn't a direct QA role, she now can walk the walk and talk the talk within the product development landscape, the IT landscape. All right. And now she went from account management, all right, and account management to IT project manager. All you need is one yes. So here's your homework. All right, I got to catch up on time. Look at your current and past jobs and see if there are any technical application or testing roles are there. All right. So I want you to go look and see, do they have any QA roles? Do they have any other SME roles like product analyst or a business system analyst or product owner or business analyst, product owner, business systems analyst, QA analyst. I want you to take your time. This is okay. I just want to be fair for you guys. I don't like fluff and I don't want to hold you on a Sunday, but I want you to get this. So I want you to really dive deep and realize and see if they have any roles that's related to technology in your company. Now, if your company happens to outsource them, that's fine. You can go look at that company or go look at the actual company's tool that you use. So you might be utilizing a tool or a technology at your company, and that company builds technology. They may have those roles. And because you've been using it at your job, you're a SME on it already. So it's two ways that you can do this. You can look at your current and past roles and see if there's any jobs. And then you can look at the technology you've actually used or the companies. Let's just say Chick-fil-A. If you go look at Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A has had QA roles before. All right. So you might have been at the window taking orders, but the technology still has to be tested. All right. Nothing in my current. There are plenty of tech jobs at the job I will interview for soon. Awesome. All right. So, and look at any domains. Go and you can also research domain QA roles. So let's just say Blue Cross Blue Shield. All right. Blue Cross Blue Shield, if you're coming from healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield has had QA roles before. All right. I just said Gusto. I posted one for Gusto. Gusto is for time tracking or for payroll. They have had QA roles. So think about from a technology standpoint, a domain or your past experience. We really got to do our homework to do this. All right. Now, step 2 is time to know. So first it's time to identify your past, your transferable skills and your superpowers. All right. And next it's time for you to go ahead and know how to, understand QA terms and terminology, tools, processes, skills, and how to approach testing. See, being a software tester is not just about skill set. It's about your approach to testing. It's about your approach to your team, your approach to work issues when things aren't ready. So many things can happen. And the most important things is you have to think GTS first. Type in GTS. We have all this technology. And if your first thought is not to Google something, to get another perspective and to do research, you're already not being a good software tester. So if you don't think GTS already, you're already not being a QA engineer. What are you engineering? What are you analyzing? Go look up the word engineer. Go look up the word analyst. What are we analyzing? What are we engineering? So you need to think GTS first. All right. Google that stuff. Now, let's go ahead and let's go back into learning. So again, the software development lifecycle is the process for providing a bug and defect-free software, making sure that it's built to the client's needs and the user expectations. So the first thing that happens, let's take Amazon, for example. Amazon might come up, and let's say Amazon came up with Prime, right? So when they came up with Prime, they had to actually write out the requirements on what they want this software to do or what they want Prime to do. Then they had to create a design on how they want it to look on Amazon. Then it had to be coded up on the website. Then it had to be passed to a testing team like someone like me. And then once the bugs and everything was working as expected, we deployed it out to the live environment for you guys to use and to use Prime now. And then as things happen or they want to make update, it goes into maintenance. Type in SDLC if we understand that process. So the SDLC is the process from bringing a program, a software application from idea to in the market in the hands of the user. But a part of the SDLC is the STLC. So you see that orange testing phase here? A part of this SDLC, the testing phase where we live and breathe, the software testing, is the STLC. Type in STLC. So the STLC is the part where we live as testers. Now, it doesn't mean that if we don't actively have work that we're not working, right? So even if the software is going through those other processes, it doesn't mean we're not doing anything because we're definitely a part of those processes. Remember, software testing is not just the skill sets, it's also how we show up to testing. We're prepping for testing. But as a tester, we live and breathe here. So we're constantly reviewing requirements to make sure we understand what the software is doing. We're test planning to making sure we understand and prioritizing our work. We're test designing to write out to make sure that that the functionality of a software is testable. We're setting up our environment, so our computers, our software devices, anything to test. Then we're performing execution. We're actually executing to confirm if an application passes or fails. Then we're reporting defects, and then we actually close that cycle and we're doing it again. So within the software testing life cycle, as software testers, we are essentially verifying. We're going through a verification and validation to make sure that the functionalities or the software is doing what it's supposed to do. This is a high level of how that actually looks. All right. So this is basically a day in a life, right? Let's just say Amazon comes up with the requirements. So they break out how they want Amazon to work. Then they want the design. Then they actually design it out. Then they push it out to then they actually push it out to the developers. The developers actually code it up on the site. Then they push it to us and we test it. During testing, we are doing this process. We're reviewing the software to making sure we understand what it's supposed to do. We're prepping for it. We're writing out the functionalities. We're setting up our environment. We're performing execution to validate that it's doing what it's supposed to do. And then if something doesn't, we are actually now reporting a defect. So now we're actually reporting a defect, and then that defect gets fixed. Then we retest it. Then once it's retested and verified, it gets pushed out into the main environment. This is the software development process. But what are we testing? So you could test the front end, what the user sees, all right? The back end, all right, the database, the middleware, the API, all right? You can test web-based products, desktop products, mobile applications. You can do, we'll talk about automation in just a second, but let me just give you an example. You see this is Amazon. So Amazon has when you go to checkout and I drop down the icon and I'm saying, okay, I want to, purchase one. Well, what happens is when I purchase one and I check out, the database in the back end also has to update the quantity -1. All right. And then on the front end, it's going to come back. The API is then going to come back to the front so that visibly we see, how many we can actually choose as far as a quantity. So I want to make sure that I'm making sense of this really quickly. So let's just go back. So on the front end of application, Amazon.com is what you see. The front end UI is what you see. The back end is the database where the data is held. And then there's a middleware API that sends that data back and forth. So when that database is updating, the API sends it to the front end to make sure that the front end is actually updated. Let's give you an example. If you go to your bank account right now, you pull out $100, all right, and you had 1,000. but then it goes down and it, instead of saying 900, it only says you have $100 left. Is that a problem? Type in yes, that's going to be a problem. Is that going to be a problem? Absolutely, because you should have had 900 left. That's a defect. So at this point, that means that if you pull out money and on the front end, it shows you that, less money than what you're supposed to have. That means either this API isn't working or the database didn't update. Something is wrong. So I want you to just understand that everything can be tested: the front end, the back end, and the middleware. So I want you to understand that there's also two types of tests. You can have you can be a manual QA engineer, okay, also, or you could be a automation engineer. So a manual QA basically goes to a website and does the testing just like a human, just like how you guys use it. But then an automation engineer actually uses a programming language and a tool to automate that process. So let's just say, for instance, if I go to Amazon.com, if I go to Amazon.com and I add items to my cart, all right, and I add these stocks to my cart, well, that's manually testing, all right? So I'm manually, just like a human, going through the process to actually go order these stocks. But as an automation engineer, which is a higher skill set of testing, is when you use a programming language and the tool to just code it and say, okay, I want you to navigate to Amazon.com, search stocks, add the stocks to the cart, check out. And then with a push of a button, I can just run that automation. That is now automation testing. All right. You're learning to get your first one as what's considered a QA engineer. But I don't like for you to use that word. I like for you, or I'm sorry, not QA, but a manual engineer, a manual QA engineer. So what you're learning basically is manual testing right now. But you want to be able to still understand how to contribute to automation. All right. I teach my students, we don't go into the market saying we're a manual QA tester. You are a QA engineer, because you're going to actually learn how to do front end testing, back end testing, middleware testing, how to approach testing, all of the things. All right. So we want to get rid of the word manual and just be a QA engineer. Bottom line is, the more testing skills you have, the more competitive and valuable you are. All right. One role might have you just saying they want you to just do front end testing. Another role may have front end with back end testing. Then there's automation roles. So I want you to understand that opportunities are here, but you only need the first yes, depending on where you are with your skill level. Let's take this an example. Let's go back to Walmart. So let's just say Walmart update their POS machine, and these are all the requirements and the functionalities that they wanted to perform. But one of the things that it should do is it should do product scanning and transaction processing. So as a software tester, we perform and we write manual test cases. A test case is a set of instructions or actions that a tester performs to evaluate a specific aspect of the functionality. So let's just say we're going to write a test case because Walmart updated their POS machine. So us as a software tester, we're going to write out from the business requirements how that functionality should work. First, we're going to write out the test case, and then we'll perform execution when it's ready to be tested. And execution is then saying, did it work? Did it pass or fail? When I go to the POS machine and I scan items, did it work as expected? Did the banana price and the quantity show up? Did all of these things work? If every step in the functionality works, then this test execution or that functionality passes. If a step doesn't, it fails, meaning the test case failed. So then what happens? It goes into a defect. Let me know. Stay here if you're here. Let me know if you're still here. Is this interesting? Let me know. Are we learning? So this is almost like a day in the life of a software tester. The first thing I'm doing is I'm understanding the business requirements. I'm writing out test cases. I'm performing test cases. And more importantly, you see this right here in an Excel spreadsheet, but you could be using a test management tool. All right. Now, what does a day in the life of a software tester look like? It could vary. A day in the life of a software tester could be that I'm doing my team meetings or my daily stand-ups. A daily stand-up is when we come into the office and we go into our team and we say what we did yesterday, what we have on our plate today, and if we have any blockers. I'll go and I'm going to review any emails or critical information. I'm going to organize my day. I'm going to plan any testing activities. I might perform execution of any functionalities that's ready. I might be reporting defects. All right. I might be collaborating with developers. Then I might take my lunch break. Just depends. I might be reviewing my other team members' work. I might be performing regression testing. And regression testing is simply retesting, a form of retesting that when they update the software to make sure that it's actually it, to make sure that okay, let me take a step back. Regression testing is to test the application once new code has been implemented to make sure that it did not break any other functionalities. So let's just say they implemented a new update of Prime. We are going to go in and do regression testing to make sure that now that they put that new code in there, it hasn't broken anything that was already there. Because that would be an issue if they made an update to Prime, but then the main functionalities of checking out now doesn't work because some code or a defect occurred. All right. Then I might be attending meetings, and then I might be wrapping up my day. This is a day in the life of a software tester. It definitely could look different, but this is typically what a day in the life of a software testing looks like. So this is at a high level, but this isn't even like, we're not even talking deeply of the skill, right? Now we have the skill of testing, the execution and preparation of testing. All right. Woo! I'm behind. Are y'all, can I keep going? We got a few more steps. Now it's time to improve. Did we learn? Did we learn new knowledge of what a software tester is and does and the different types of testing? All right. So now that you are acquiring the knowledge of what it takes to make a pivot as a software tester, now I want you to realize that it's time for you to improve yourself for the market. There are 3 ways that you can position. Write this down. You can position as a newbie. You can position as with transferable skills, and you can position with direct QA experience. Now, those of you who said you've done migration projects, you've done legacy projects, you've collaborated with your developer, with your cross-functional teams, you've implemented processes, you've you also read business requirements. All of that is what's considered direct QA experience. Just because you didn't have the job title, that is your transferable experience, but you can actually make it direct because it's direct to it. Now, direct would be normally like more so like, okay, you had the job title, but now if you're speaking from the technology, we're going to make it direct perspective QA experience, well, transferable experience. So you can actually position as a newbie, transferable experience, or direct. So if you have anything that deals with testing, I'm going to say we can leverage that personally as direct QA experience. Now, if you just want to keep it at the level of understanding, it's transferable experience. And I'm going to say that just because you didn't have the QA job title, because you did some experience or task that's very much aligned with QA, that is experience. You can leverage that. All right. The other perspective is a newbie career pivot. I'm going to tell you that most of my students actually pivot with transferable skills and direct QA positioning. A newbie career pivot is someone who typically gets in the market and they're like, hey, I've been learning online. I took this boot camp. Here's my resume. Can you give me a chance? So these are 3 ways that you can position. It's not that you can't land a job. It's just that especially in today's market, you're just not competitive with that. So can you land a job? Absolutely. But you're going to have to do probably a lot of work or try to get some internships to, if you're going to use that type of positioning. So I want you to focus on transferable skills. You could do this through whether you did an internship, any work experience, any direct skill, knowledge, project, tools, and domains. That's why I'm telling you to do your homework. And then if you had any QA perspective, if you had any testing experience, any practical skills or projects that's related from QA. So these are 3 ways that you can position. There's 8 ways. Yeah, 8 ways that you can compete and position without years of experience. So people are like, well, Jenny, what about if I don't have a degree? What if I don't have, if they ask for 8 years of experience? Well, you have work experience. So you're going to pull out the high level years of experience that you've been working. What's transferable? Do you have any direct experience? Do you have any transferable experience? Do you have any programming course experience? Do you have any certifications? Do you have any projects? How will you elevate this role or bring results? If you've been in accounting and it's accounting software that they need you to do QA for, how will you bring and elevate results? Maybe it's your personality. Maybe it's just a good career story of who you've been. Like, all of these ways is how we compete. You have to put all of this stuff together. You have to pull this out. This is how I could take someone from newbie to into the market to compete, because I know how to build a sexy career story. All right. So what are we going to do? We're going to focus on the technology in your SME experience. All right. So in order to improve your resume for the market, listen, if you do have a degree and you do have certifications, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are looking to go into another role that is outside those degree and certifications, and if it is not in alignment with what you're going for now, you need to find a way to make it aligned and make it relevant, because no one cares about it if it's not saying that you can do the job, that you can't do the job. I'm making sure I'm saying that back. You have to be able to say that you can do the job. If your degree or certification does not tell the story that what you know is going to tell them that you can walk in and do the job and you know how to be adaptable, you won't get the job. Do we understand that? Type in, give me a thumbs up if we understand that. And that's with love. It's like that you put in a lot of work for those degrees and certifications. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do not know how to articulate the alignment and how to say that what it means to you doing the job that you're applying for, it means nothing. It only means anything to what you're applying for and how it supports you being able to do the job. All right. I hope that's making sense. I'm trying to say it as simple as possible. So step 4 is time to level up for the interview. Of course, you guys probably heard of the Amazon STAR method, but the most important thing I want to teach you is we never say, I don't know. All right. We never say, I don't know. Never. Type in never. Type in the chat, never. We never ever. If my students tell me they came out in an interview and they said, I don't know, I am very mad. Because there are 2 ways you answer something. If you have direct experience, you tell them your direct experience and you give the example. If you don't, here's what you do. Although I do not have direct experience, here's how I would resolve it. Here's how I would approach it. Here's my understanding with an example. Here's how I would execute. Do you see how if someone was to ask me, hi, Jennifer, welcome to this interview. Could you please explain your experience with API testing? Well, actually, my experience is more so on the manual front end of the application. I am aware of application programming interfaces and APIs. Here's what I know about it. However, in my past and most recent projects, it actually wasn't my job responsibility, but here's what I know. Can you give me a thumbs up if you like that? Do you see how I'm answering that without saying I don't know? Now, that might have been a bit fast, but essentially, if I'm in an interview and they ask me something I don't know, I'm going to tell them what I do know. Or I'm going to tell them something that's related to it. Although I do not have that direct experience, or though I don't have an understanding of what that is, could you explain it to me? Oh, well, here's my understanding of how I would approach. We never say I don't know. All right. Then you want to have your tell me about yourself introduction. You got to have that. And then here are 4 things that you need to say strategically in an interview so you never dig a rabbit hole. Write this down. I'm familiar with, I'm exposed to, I'm knowledgeable of, and I'm experienced. Here's the problem that most people do. People go in the interview and you'll say, yeah, I'm experienced with that. And you ain't got no experience. You just understand it. You have knowledge of it. And then when they say, oh, well, tell me your experience. Now you're saying, well, I don't have any work experience. Okay, so you're familiar with it. You don't have any experience. Let's be honest. See, a lot of times in interviews, they want your honesty, and they're getting you in a rabbit hole because you say you're experienced about something, but you really have no work experience. You have an understanding of it. So be clear so that you don't dig a rabbit hole. And so most importantly, so we can be honest. Type in honest in the chat. I'm sorry. Do I got y'all working today? I need to know that y'all here with me, because this is a problem why people don't land jobs. Why? Because we're not being honest and we don't know how to do it strategic. All right. So if I'm in an interview and they say, okay, can you please tell me your experience with Jira, a test management tool? All right. You can say, well, actually, I'm familiar with Jira as a test management tool. However, I haven't directly used it at my job. I have used XYZ, and here's how I did it and how it relates to that. See how I did that? I didn't say I'm experienced. I said I'm familiar with it as a tool because I haven't used it, but here's my understanding of what it is. Step 5 is time to load yourself in the market. Listen, if you meet 70% of that job description, please apply. All right. Let me show you why in a second. Because most of these jobs are job descriptions are wish lists, and they would gladly underpay you for you to do 8 different things. All right. If you fit, they will call. And if you don't, the worst thing that can happen is they don't call. All right. So apply and allow them to decide. All right. If like, we don't want to just waste time on jobs, but we do, if we feel like this is a really high chance and there's 1 or 2 things on there, let's go ahead and apply. Worst thing that can happen is they just don't call. Here's an example. You see these job descriptions, it says QA tester, software quality assurance analyst, manual QA analyst, PeopleSoft QA. You guys might not see it, but is exactly what happened. And when I look at this, all I see is these are all software testing roles. The difference is going to be when I look at the details of what they want. So this first one, QA tester, this is definitely a good one for someone who's maybe just now pivoting into tech as a software tester. The second one, software quality assurance analyst, I think is a good one too, but you will have to study up a little bit to be familiar with Python and SQL, because that's what they're saying being familiar with. All right. Then a manual QA analyst, that third one is a really good one that everyone could apply for. Then PeopleSoft QA would be more so for someone who actually has been in that domain. Now, based upon the job description, I would say every one of my students could apply for that, but definitely they would want to be able to speak to what PeopleSoft is to be competitive. You see how I can look at this, and they're all software testing jobs, but the requirements are different. So you have to also be honest with where your skill level is for your first one. Step 6 is time for you to score interviews and skill up. First of all, we do not bomb interviews. We interview to get the butterflies out. We get the butterflies out. We do not bomb interviews. All right. We learn from them. But every role won't be for your first yes. Understand that every role, it'd be okay that every role is not for your first yes, because just like how I look at this, every single one of these roles is not going to be for everyone depending on where your skill level is, but you can get your first yes if you believe. All right. So when we interview, we learn and we skill up. So if you interview and then if you come out that interview and you feel like, man, I didn't do as well, go ahead and reflect and say, how could I have improved this process? Where did I fall short at? Where do I need to study and upskill at? This is how we're going to be ready for the next one. Write this down. The next thing you want to do is, how do you study? Let me tell you something. If you can't say what something is, why you need it, how you use it in a scenario, you need to go back to study. Somebody type that in the chat, WWHS. If you can't say what something is, if I say, what is an API? Why do you need an API? How do you use or test the API, and give a scenario of an API? What is software testing? Why do you need software testing? How to use software test, and give a day in the life of a software tester. If you can't do that in anything that you study, I don't care if you're studying cybersecurity or accounting, if you can't give a what, why, how scenario, you need to go back. An API is an application programming interface. It's essentially, it is the communicator between, well, let's just say the front end and the back end of a software. All right. No problem. All right. So all you need is one yes. And then you celebrate your wins and your progress. So you are one step closer to being a software tester, don't you think? Let me know. Say yes in the chat. Do you think you are? I think you are, because you learned my 6-step skills method. All right. So you learn my skills method. You're going to start with the understanding of your superpowers and your transferable skills. You're going to learn and acquire your understanding of QA terms and tools. You're going to improve your resume for the market, level up for the interview, load yourself in the market, score interviews, and skill up till we get our first yes. All right. So congratulations. Do you understand what software testing is and how I've taken people through this process to make a career pivot using my 6-step method? Do you understand? Do you understand? Let me know if you understand. Do you understand my process? This is possible for you. Now I want you to imagine this. Imagine the next 1 or 2 years from now. This may be you now. You're struggling trying to figure this out, make a career pivot, don't know where to start. This is one of my students. It's funny, fun fact. Her name says Dear Daughter 5 because she has 5 daughters. When she came to me, she was going through a situation with her and in life. And I learned she had 5 daughters, and she was able to make this career pivot. And she says, if you're on the fence, take a leap. This is your sign. Your life can look very different in 1 year to 6 months. She took my course almost 2 years ago. And I guarantee you guys, the course that she took looked nothing like what it is today. And I want to say program. And now she's being offered a QA manager role. And this actually is probably like 2 months old now. So I'm sure she's well into that new role. So remember, it's not just my results. This is my student results. I don't know if have any of you guys seen my student Corey. She interviewed with Tech is the New Black with Cyrus. And she's 1 year into her role, you guys. I like for you guys to see past students and current students, although like these are still jobs and what we're doing is still a career. I would like for you to see before and after and the possibilities. She's 1 year in, and now she's saying that she was able to travel, get out of debt, saving, and she's actually enjoying her roles. She's actually 4 months into her role and at 84K. She went from going from a role who wanted her to come back into the office to work in a remote role. Then we have Shauna, who's 1 year and 3 months from education to working as a QA. Then we have Dominique, who actually was a dental hygienist making good money, but landed her first one at 102. So are you ready to say yes and believe? Type in believe if you're ready to believe, or trust. Do you trust me yet? Believe me? Trust me? Okay. Appreciate it if you do. This is Sarah. She was a baker. She had 20 years of the food service industry. She was a baker, and she says it's well worth it. Her first job offer after completing the program nearly doubled her income. Then we have Lee. What I love about Lee is because transparently, she had a lot of jobs she applied for, 300 jobs. She was getting discouraged, but then she actually ended up accepting. She had 2 offers. However, when she put in her resignation at her current job, they offered her the role as an IT project manager. And here are some other students again. Adrian, you saw Adrian, she's an IT product manager. Aaliyah, Camille, another Aaliyah. We have 2 that landed roles, you guys. So, and these offers are just literally from May and June of this year. So this is very, very current. Another student, Avita, she graduated and did our April internship, and she's six weeks into her role. Justin, he should be a few weeks into his role now. Ashley secured her role. She said after posting her resume on the job board, she had a recruiter reach out again. Ashley is now 3 months into her role, and she is actually a technical product analyst. Lydia, she was a stay-at-home mom. Now she did work in and out jobs, but she was at home with the kids for many years, and she actually landed both of her roles freelance, remote. And picture, going from really almost no income to almost $55 an hour, $56 an hour working remote. Then we have LaTanya, who's a stay-at-home mom, wanting to do something to help her husband as, he's working, and now she's a remote QA with a government job. So you can do this alone, or you can do this with a proven process and community. So this is my invitation. Can I invite you? Let me know. Say yes if I can invite you. Can I invite you to something? I told you I'm going to invite you. You don't have to like it, but I'm going to invite you. I'm still going to give you my resources, but I'm going to invite you. So this is my invitation to invite you to Road to QA. The QA program was designed to be a cost-effective, ed-tech online self-paced software testing, career building development program with community support, group mentorship, and hands-on practical application. This is to help tech newbies and career changers and professionals position successfully in the market to securing your first QA engineer role. How the program works is you'll join the program and access your portal area in the community. You'll attend the live and weekly learning calls to deep dive, ask questions, and get real-time feedback. You'll complete your homework and assessments each week to reinforce your skills. You'll finish the internship, or you'll submit to an internship. It's an optional experience. It's considered use it or lose it. And so within your 1 year seat, you have the option to participate in an internship if you choose. And then you will get into the market until you land your first role. Your learning curriculum will start with understanding your transferable skills and positioning, understanding new software testing terms and processes and knowledge, improving your resume for the market, leveling up for the interview, loading your brand and career profile into the market successfully to get the phone to ring, and scoring interviews, and how to skill up until you get your first yes. The core software testing sprints you're going to go through is the basics of software testing, agile scrum methodologies, test management tools, cross-browser testing, intro to SQL, intro to API testing, and intro to automation. In the basis of software testing, we're going to actually show you and teach you the comprehensive exploration of software testing tools and tactics of testing and terms to know. You'll also then go into Agile Scrum methodology, where you'll actually understand Agile as a project framework. Then you'll understand how to utilize project test management tools for testing. You'll also learn mobile and cross-browser testing, as well as how to do database testing and also API testing. You'll also have an intro to automation module. After you complete the core software testing modules, you'll then participate in a 4-week group internship. Now, this is optional. It's considered use it or lose it. It's up to you if you would like to participate in the internship experience. We've had over half of our students never participate in the experience, and they've been able to secure their first one. So it's an optional experience with your program seat. How the internship works is every 4 times out the year, we do a 4-week internship, and 2 days out of the week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, your internship work will actually open up. You'll perform your work, and you'll have access to a private group chat also, where you can ask your questions during your internship period. Once your internship is up, you'll go ahead and you'll successfully position inside of the market to securing your first yes. Now, the next internship experiences is actually January 27th through February 20th. Then the next one is May 7th and July 7th and October 2025. You can currently join Road to QA with an investment of 1 year for $12.97. Currently, our program is going up to $24.97. However, you can actually join us for $12.97. This is going to get you access to all of the program and also the optional internship. You can also do a 6-pay payment plan of $249 times 6 payments. The only difference is that you won't be able to have access to 2 of the bonus calls, and you also will have to participate in internship only once your payment plan is paid in full. So here's everything you get for $12.97. You get over 50 hours of self-paced learning, the student study book, the private community, weekly learning group mentorship calls, a monthly Q&A mentorship call, monthly group interview prep. You get to participate in a self-paced, actually 4-week internship, access to monthly special guest trainings, over 100 hours of video lectures and trainings, access to a graduates chat when you land your first role so you won't be alone. You'll also have access to our study bot, where you can actually study or use our chat bot to study. You'll gain access to our weekly job postings, access to 20 practical hands-on skill labs, 1 monthly testing exercise challenge to add to your experience, access a library of student resumes who landed roles, and access to 5 hours of DIY resume lectures using AI. You'll also get access to over 10 hours of guest trainings on resume building and LinkedIn. And when you pay in full, you also get 2 bonus workshops, plan your pivot and position your career with me directly, that you'll actually be able to join those calls. If you pay in full, if you pay on a 6-month payment plan, it is $249 per month times 6 payments. The difference is that the payment plan must be paid in full before you can participate in an internship, and we do hold 4 per year. So, and you'll also get these 2 bonus workshops if you pay in full. So what do you get again? You get the access to the Road to QA learning portal, which I'll show you in just a moment, the live calls, the community, and the internship. And starting January, we'll start offering Road to QA certificates of completions. Now, this is more for you than actually for the market, because we want you to actually lead with your positioning and your internship and not a certificate. So once you get into the market, it's time for you to get into the market to land your first one with a salary of $70K to $100K. So your next steps is to sign up for the Road to QA program, access your 6-step learning portal, say hello in the community, attend the weekly and monthly calls, participate in an internship, and get into the market to secure your role. Inside of Road to QA, you'll have access to your learning portal. So upon joining Road to QA, you'll have your own learning portal, where you'll actually use a navigation to move through the portal, going through your learning through the 6-step skills method. Upon going through the 6-step skills method, you'll have homework assessments to actually earn your badges for each section. At the end of each section, you'll earn a badge. You'll move on to the next section. Once you're completed with the 6 sections, you're then going to apply for the internship using your pre-internship form. Once you actually submit to the internship, this is where you'll gain access to actually participate in an internship experience where you'll then go into a whole nother program in a whole nother area to support you along the way. Now, inside of Road to QA, you'll also get access to the community. This is where you can actually come, introduce yourself, say hi, ask questions, post your pre-homework. You can actually work with people to gain access to study groups. You can gain access to all of our weekly and monthly training calls. We have weekly learning, monthly learning, DIY hot seat learning, interview prep learning. You also have the ability to post any wins, like students are posting their testimonials inside of Road to QA, and then any resources. And we also post a weekly jobs here for our students. Upon graduating, graduation is when you actually land a job. This is where when you land a job, you are added to a private area where we can support you along the way with your new job. So if you're ready to join Road to QA, all you have to do is to join us on one of our payment plan options or our full pay options. Now, I want you to remember our community has helped create over 8 million in new salaries, all right, from all different walks of life. We have over 100 student testimonials. Here's Aaliyah. Thank you so much. My life has changed because of you. The interview felt so great and straight to the point. Shaniqua actually landed her role. She went from construction to manual QA analyst. Ashley got her offer as a technical product analyst, and so many more. So you can join us two ways. You can enroll with Pro for $12.97 a year, or you can enroll with a 6-pay for $249 a month times 6 payments. And if you pay in full, you'll get access to 2 bonus workshops. So all you have to do now is join Road to QA, and we will see you inside of the program. But I want you to remember, most importantly, I don't want you to do this alone or to get into debt going to a high-cost boot camp. All right? We're cheaper than a high-cost boot camp. This is a self-paced with community support, group mentorship, and an optional internship. Proven learning with over 100 plus students who have secured roles using our process, and you're learning from QA practitioners, not theory. The average QA role is anywhere from $70K to $100K. That's $26.92 biweekly. So that means just half of your first paycheck, if you say yes and do the work, would pay for your investment. And here's what you'll get again. You'll get over 50 hours, the study book, the community, the weekly and monthly calls. You'll get the video lectures. You'll get access to a graduate's chat upon landing the role. You'll get practical hands-on skill labs and so much more. Just choose your way. $12.97 for 1 year and with an optional internship, or 6-pay with an optional internship at 6 payments of $249. And I want you to meet our team. This is myself, the founder and lead instructor of Road to QA, Antoine, our weekly curriculum mentor, Sade, our new members mentor. Then Sonia is our community mentor. Tony is our automation mentor and consultant. John is our curriculum manager, and we do have 2 new hires that's coming soon. All right. Now, if you have any questions, you can also email us at hello@roadtoqa.com. I'll be sure to send you my top 10 favorite free low cost to under $100 online resources to help you upskill on your own also. But I want you to do this with us. I want to do this with you. Let's do this together. I do thank you for your time. I'm so excited to have you a part of Road to QA. We welcome you. Thank you so much.